Hey Virgo, happy October 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. I hope you are doing fantastic. As you know, I always pre-shuffle, so I'm going to add a little energy before we get started. I was going to use the same deck I used in the mid-month reading, but I realized the Raven's Prophecy that I've been using is very Halloween-y, which is one of my favorite holidays. Definitely very orange and black. And so I figured I'd stick with that. I am also doing these face up this month because I wanted to start looking at other things we could pull from it. The reason I always did them face down is I kind of liked the excitement of, you know, not knowing or just kind of seeing what was coming next. But I want to read some of the, like, vibrations. I'm always telling you guys, hey, pay attention to numbers or frequencies or colors or, you know, patterns. And so I kind of felt maybe we could do that together during these reads where you could see them and we could put a little more energy into, you know, any reoccurring patterns or anything that, you know, just makes sense. So, or that kind of comes to the forefront. So we'll see. All right, Virgo. This is a general read, so check your sun, moon, and rising. I have a lot to say, a lot I want to get out, and I'm pretty fast because I don't want to take up too much of your time, although I notice my videos are usually like 35, 40 minutes. That's probably a little longer than some of you would like, but I'll try and keep them shorter. Again, general, check your sun, moon, and rising, as those may resonate with you some months more than others. Any likes, comments, subscribes, shares are appreciated. If you want a private read, the information's in the description. You know, I can't really tailor this channel to you unless I know exactly what you like or what is gonna, you know, make you guys happy or what you're wanting to know more about. So, as you know, these are generally for singles and anybody looking to reconcile, although again, I focus mainly on singles because those are the people who contact me, who reach out to me for private reads, etc. And I'm pulling your theme of the month, and your theme of the month is the Queen of Swords. So, all right, let's get started. I just want to make sure you can see these because I'm terrible about like putting them out and then not paying attention to whether you can actually see the cards, although I go through each one, you know, one at a time. All right, Virgo. So October 2017, coming into the month, your current position is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is somebody who's needing to take a break. Somebody who has a much need, a necessity for rest and recuperating. If you're single, it seems like maybe you're taking a break from dating, period. Like you're overly exhausted, you've been there, done that, nothing seems to be going the way that you want. You know, you're just overwhelmed. And I feel like a lot of you this month, not that you're going to completely close off, but I feel like over the past month or two, you have closed off, then opened up, then closed off, then opened up. Maybe, I don't know that it's a lack of knowing what you want. I feel like there might be somebody weighing on your mind, or there may have been possibilities. You thought they were going to go one way, they didn't go that way. But this is you going, all right, I'm exhausted. This is not working for me. I need to shut it down and restart, or shut it down and take some time for yourself and figure out what you want. This may be, the dating game may be new for you. So it could be that you're trying online dating for the first time. You're doing meetup groups for the first time. Whatever it is that you're needing to do, it's not that it's not working for you. It just doesn't seem like it's been, you thought you would hop online and start meeting people left and right and it would be fantastic. And it feels like, Virgo, that hasn't been the case. Or you've been meeting a lot of people, but they're not the right people and you're exhausted. Plain and simple, this is coming across. If you're single and you're dating, you're exhausted. You're not getting the outcomes you want. You're not getting the middles you want or the beginnings you want. Everything just kind of seems to be all over the place. So either you've decided that you're not going to be dating right now, or you're going to be dating, but it's going to be kind of slow and steady, and you're going to pay a lot of attention to the people that you're meeting, which is not a bad thing. And the theme of the month really kind of tells me that, so the theme of the month is the Queen of Swords. And this is somebody who is being critical and insightful. And critical in the fact that you're looking inside yourself, but you're also looking at other people. And Virgo, you know, I know you guys hate this because I always get a lot of backlash when I talk about your exes. But for some reason, this tells me that some of you are going, okay, what did I do wrong in the relationships that didn't work, that I really wanted to work out? And how do I go from here? Maybe that relationship's not available to you anymore. Maybe you're not interested in that person other than friends. Maybe they're not interested in you. But you are looking at, what am I doing wrong here? Because I'm exhausted. It's overwhelming. You know, I'm thinking I'm meeting this person who's going to be fantastic, and it turns out they're just not who they say they are. And you may just be done dating, period. You may just decide that you need some time away, but you're very interested in love. So you're kind of trying to figure out, how else am I going to meet somebody fantastic without actually having to date? Which, Virgo, we would all love to know the secret. So if you figure it out, you know, let me know. If you're looking to reconcile, I think you're taking a break from that too. You're kind of like, all right, that's exhausting as well. I don't know if you're in communication or if it's been up and down and you've been in communication, but you're just feeling like, I feel like I try and I'm not really getting anywhere. However, this recuperation or exhaustion, this rest you needed, I feel like maybe from a situation that isn't even from the person you're looking to reconcile. It could be that you met somebody you wanted to be with and they were taken, or you were taken, or there was like a marriage that was being dissolved, or a divorce was happening, or a move or something like that. And it wasn't, you guys were connected on a deep level, but it wasn't available to you because it just wasn't the right time. And so now you're kind of like, well, I really care about this person. I really love them. Or maybe, you know, you're getting contact from them and they're telling you that, but you're kind of like, all right, I finally took time out to figure out what I want, and now I'm going to pay attention to what I want. And they are too. The next card you have is internally how you're coming into the month. So any challenges or anything that internally you're facing that either helps or hinders your current position in the month. And you have the 10 of Wands. So this is all about responsibility. And some of it's like bearing a burden. So if you're single, this tells me that you have a lot going on. Not just dating, not just finding a partner, not just talking to people. However, Virgo, if I'm being completely honest, and I have to say this is from experience with some Virgos that I know really well, this is you almost taking on those burdens because it's easier to like value the facts, if that makes sense. So it's very interesting because this is, if you're single, this is you feeling like, oh, there's too many burdens, I can't date. Or I have too much responsibility. I have too many things I have to get done, and therefore I don't have time to date. But Virgo, it kind of feels like a cop-out, because it kind of feels like you're saying, well, because things haven't worked out the way I want them to work out, you know, I've got to be careful, and therefore I'm going to spend a lot of time working, which we know, the ever due diligent Virgo. But you're kind of, I don't want to say like using it as an excuse, but you kind of are, Virgo, a little bit. Like you're using this, well, I've got all this other stuff going on in my life and I can't, you know, figure out what I want to do dating wise or relationship wise. It's very interesting because I've actually recently talked to Virgos that I'm close with, that I love dearly. And it's like, I've always thought of Virgos as people who are like face value. They show you exactly who they are, even if you don't like it. But I'm finding this month that some of the Virgos I know are almost like, they know there's issues or they know there's problems, but they don't face them. They kind of want to beat around the bush a little bit. And so the 10 is telling me, if you're single, that either you're meeting people, you like people, but you're not willing to put in the effort and the time. But then you're almost flipping it as in, I'm exhausted because I'm not meeting the right people. But I feel like maybe you're just not wanting to put the energy into it. And that's okay. If you don't. But, you know, don't be grumpy with other people because, or don't be negative with other people because it's not, because you're kind of in one place and they're in another place, if that makes sense. You have to be very careful about putting on this front of, I'm working really hard and I have all this stuff going on, when in reality, you probably have time to meet somebody special and take the time to get to know somebody. But when you're feeling overwhelmed, just as okay, Virgo, you're allowed to feel overwhelmed just like everybody else. Instead of just being like, I'm done with dating right now, or this isn't working, or I'm not totally into you, or whatever. Instead, it's, oh, I'm working, I've got all this stuff going. No, nobody, like, don't. You don't have to make an excuse. Just don't date, or just don't get serious with anybody. Just have fun. And I feel like that's where you are kind of this month. You're going, I've got all this stuff going on, so I can't give you my full attention. It's not even necessary. Just don't do it. Just don't date. Just step away. And I feel like a lot of Virgos have done that. And yet at the same time, you're twisted because you're feeling very much like, you know, I want love. I want something magnanimous. If you're looking to reconcile, the 10 is saying the same thing. It's almost like you're putting yourself into your work and everything else that you have going on instead of taking the steps that you need to reconcile. Now, Virgos are the people who give me the hardest time about the reconciliation beyond any other sign. I get emails from Virgos saying, well, I don't want to reconcile, or I did all this and they didn't. Well, and that's fine. Everybody's different, right? This is for hundreds of people, not just for one specific person. But at the same time, there's that defensiveness that tells me that, yes, you give only so much, and then you expect them to come tenfold. And sometimes when you make a mistake or you do something that you should be apologizing for, you almost put other people or other, you know, the people that you're wanting to reconcile with or the people that you love in the position of feeling like they have to apologize, when in reality, they shouldn't. You should be able to show up with some flowers, knock on their door and say, hey, I apologize. But unfortunately, sometimes, Virgo, the way you work is that you say, well, I'm sorry. And they're literally left going, well, what are you sorry for? And they're like, well, I said I was sorry. And it's like, Virgo, you have to be able to expand beyond that. You have to be able to reach inside yourself and say, well, I'm sorry, because you have to clarify that a little bit. And I feel like you're feeling exhausted because you don't know what they want and you don't know how to get them back. You don't know how to, or they communicate with you and you feel like you're telling them, well, yeah, I like you too. And they're going, but why do you like me? What do you want to do when we get back together? What do you need from me? And you're kind of closed off in that area. And I feel like the 10 is saying, you're doing that right now. You're closing off a little bit. I've got all this other stuff going on. I don't have time for this. But then at the same time, you're hoping for some sort of reconciliation. So just be careful there, Virgo. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past few months, or this is actually past few years. This is past few months. This past few years, I always read reconciliation and singles together in this. And you have the 10 of Cups. And so this is a very positive past. This is saying at some point you had happy family, happy childhood, happy aunts, happy uncles, happy grandparents. This is saying that at one point you knew what it was like to have this joy, peace, family, this ongoing bonding unit. And so I think some of you are going, that's all I want. I just want to have a family now. I just want to have, you know, maybe you have kids and you're looking for somebody who has kids, or, you know, whether you're single or looking to reconcile, at the end of the day, you know what you want. The thing about Virgos is they know what they want and they're going to go get it. They just have a strange way of going about it, especially if you're dealing with other signs that don't work the way you do. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because you have the 10 of Cups, the Chariot, the Ace of Cups, and these are all water signs. The Chariot's a Cancer, and then the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Cups are all water signs. And you have the Queen of Cups. That's Pisces, Cancer. Hold on just a second. Sorry, my candle over here is about to, I'm having an issue with the candle off my set that keeps wanting to burn down. When you're dealing with the cups, you're dealing with Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. So, sorry, lost my train of thought because my cat looked at me like the house is going to burn down. So you could be dealing with water signs. Specifically, you could be dealing with the Chariot, because what's interesting here is the only major arcana you have is the Chariot, which is the Cancer card. So, all right, the Ten of Cups is your distant past. So if you're single looking to reconcile, this is all about you have had it at one point, you had success. It obviously didn't last because something went awry, but you know what you want, and family and having that peaceful energy, that's all you're looking for, is some sort of peace. And I think you're realizing now that you can find it, but Virgo, this is about you this month. October is about you taking the steps to change it. It's about you looking critically as the Queen of Swords and saying, hey, you know, there's a bigger picture here. There's something spiritual at play here. And we'll get to the Queen in a second, but it's saying the same thing. There's something other than yourself, and you have to let it play out now, Virgo. You have to let the universe take control, God, you know, Buddha, whoever you believe in. You have to stop trying to control everything, because you can have that peace and family and joy of the Ten of Cups, but you're going to have to give something of yourself. The next card you have is Queen of Cups, which is your recent past, over the past few weeks, past month or so. And this is mystery. This is otherness. So, if you are dating, this is you trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And this is also trying to figure out spirituality. I think that some of you have kind of played this like bachelorette, bachelor type attitude. Well, I should be able to get this, and we should just be able to have fun, and I don't want to have to be serious. But at the same time, I want it to be serious because I'm single and I want somebody. But at the same time, I want somebody who doesn't want me to want them as much. It's like a game, Virgo, and you've got to get off that roller coaster because it's literally exhausting you. And I really think that a lot of you are kind of like, well, I want him or her, and I want them to want me, and I really want them, and I want to get married and stuff. But at the same time, I want to be able to like have them, but then like not be so serious to where like they're expecting me to report to them. And it doesn't work that way. That's not a healthy adult relationship. You can't have your cake and eat it too if you want something serious, or if you want somebody who takes you seriously and is going to act serious in it. You can have that, but then just expect that they're going to behave the same way you are. And so you can't catch 22 it and say, hey, well, I want to have something serious, but I also want to be able to have fun. Well, then they're going to have something serious, but they're also going to want to have fun. And that doesn't help anybody in the situation. So the Queen of Cups, if you're single, is saying, pay attention to what you want. There's an otherness here. There's you're feeling like you're in some mystery novel and you can't figure out what's going on, but there's a spirituality and a divinity that you need to figure out within yourself to find out why you always end up in those same situations. It may also just be that you've got to like figure other things out within yourself, like my parents' marriage. How was that, and how am I reflecting that into my marriage now, or not marriage now, but like into what my future relationship is going to look like. That kind of comes out of the blue and woodworks, I know, but I feel like a lot of Virgos look at their past and they kind of pick it apart, and they want to know like, well, my parents were this way, and if they had a good relationship, you're picking apart how. If they had a bad relationship, you're kind of trying to skew away from that, which makes sense. But you have to live in the now, and you have to understand that there are other factors. There, you know, let the universe take control. You cannot control all of this, Virgo. And at the end of the day, the Queen is saying the past few weeks that you're starting to realize there's other factors that play into having a successful relationship. You don't have all the answers, and that's okay. So let your heart drive it a little bit. Let down your guard is what the Queen is saying. Let down your guard. And that's what you've been doing the past few weeks. Now you just have to figure out how to incorporate it into dating in a level that Virgo can be comfortable. If you're looking to reconcile, this is interesting, because there's only really one answer for this card in this position. Not one, there's always multiple, but this is you have no idea what they're up to or what they're doing. And it could be somebody that you've been thinking about that you haven't talked to in months, years, and all of a sudden you're going, I wonder what they're up to. I kind of like them a lot. And it was hard to get over, but now I'm kind of maybe ready to, you know, approach that subject again. So very interesting, Virgo. If you're looking to reconcile, I don't necessarily think this is somebody you just broke up with like 2 weeks ago or a month ago. I feel like this could be somebody that you have had a big connection with, and all of a sudden you're going, I'm exhausting. I've been playing the bachelorette role. I've been having fun times, but I think that you're kind of having a hard time keeping it together as far as, you know, you're kind of like, well, I want to reconcile with this person, but I don't even know where to begin. And I've been dating and I've been having fun. Maybe you've been in other relationships and now you're just exhausted and you're kind of like, I want the peace and I want the responsibility. Maybe some of you are like, I just need to get out and have fun. I can't be tied down to anybody. And now you're going, man, I really wish I was tied down to that person. And so, and it could be them. Like I said, Virgos are the first to email me personally and say, no, it's all them, it's all them. And that's fine. And it very well could be. But when I pull these cards, I'm mainly talking about Virgo. I'm not here to analyze what your your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend is or isn't doing. This is mainly the perspective of Virgo. And right now the Queen is saying, you really don't know what they're up to. And again, it could be somebody that you've just been thinking about a lot. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months and into the end of the year, and you have the Nine of Wands. And the Nine is somebody who's capable. They can handle a lot. The Nine of Wands is somebody who is strong. And I think if you're single, this is you saying, okay, I've been exhausted, but maybe I haven't been picking the right people. Maybe I haven't been looking at what I really want. Again, bachelor, bachelorette life kind of comes into play. And now you're going, hey, I miss this family life. I miss having somebody serious. I miss having this peace and joy that I know that I've had once upon a time and I can get there. But you're kind of feeling like the mystery of the Queen. Like, I don't know exactly how I can get there, but I will get there. And the Nine is saying, okay, over the next few months, you're going to be going, I know what I need to do to get there. I know that I need to open up a little bit heart-wise. Again, I'm always talking to you guys about, hey, presenting yourself a little more on the emotional side instead of coming in with this burden and responsibility, which again, you're coming in with this month. Nothing wrong. Virgos are some of my favorite people, some of my best friends, some of my best, relationships have been with Virgos. But you are more than capable of being a good suitor. You do have to teeter on the side of being able to be that capable, strong person, but also have the stamina of that emotional wit, of that emotional well-being and that heart energy. And the Nine is saying you can do it. You just have to be patient. You have to keep up the stamina. Even though you feel exhausted or feel like it's not coming, it is coming. You just have to be patient. If you're looking to reconcile, this is your chance. And I've said this a couple times in your reads, but not lately. Lately, I've been kind of counteracting the reconciliation because I've kind of felt like, all right, now it's your time. Like, they do need to come to the forefront. Shouldn't always be Virgo's responsibility. But the Nine is telling me that if you are looking to reconcile, you need to go get it now and take care of it now and like have that strength. Pull yourself up one more time and do it. Even though I know you're exhausted, you feel kind of like, I don't know what they want. And, this mystery of the Queen of, what's going on. And I thought I was giving them everything. I feel like, Virgo, you're taking this loop back to kind of this slump where it's like, well, I thought I was telling them what they wanted. And I thought that I was giving them what they wanted. But I feel like it's like a broken record. Like, you think that you're giving them one thing and they're not. So something's got to change. And the Nine is saying, wow, like, you're going to figure out what it is. And it could be something as little as like, hey, Virgo, if you call them and say, hey, how's it going? Don't just say, hey, how's it going? Say, hey, how's it going? I really miss you. And I truly, I feel like you kind of give an inch and then you want them to take 20 inches because you're not quite sure how far you can go. And I think if you really want to reconcile, you're going to have to go further than an inch. The next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks through the end of October, and you have the Eight of Wands. And this is quick moving. This is swift. This is quick action. So if you're dating, this tells me that you are going to get back up on the horse pretty quick. And you may have had one or two people that you were interested in, but maybe it wasn't working out the way that you thought it should or would. And you're going to have the capability this month to actually put those energies in motion. And really, I feel like this is going to be like a recovery because you are coming into this month just like, I don't give a crap. I don't care. I don't even want to date. But something's going to pull you out of it. Maybe it's the holidays here in the U.S. Maybe it's, something's going to spark you to where you're like, no, that's it. I don't give up. I'm a Virgo. Virgos never give up. But trust me, Virgos, when they should give up, they don't even give up. And that makes them some of the most incredible people, their perseverance. So the Eight of Wands is saying, look, if dating's not working for you now, change up your style and do it. The biggest thing for Virgos is change. And Virgos don't change easily. So I think that your inner self this month is going to say, hey, no, we're going to continue to do it. You may be exhausted and you may have a lot going on. You may have kids and you have other responsibility, but no, we're not giving up on this because we want something special. We want something amazing and we're capable of getting it and being a part of it. And so I think you may at some point this month just kind of, whoa, you know, like straighten up and fly right. And you're going to start meeting like a plethora of people. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this ties very closely into what I was saying. I think you're going to go after what you want immediately, but you are going to have those sparks fly. You cannot expect them to come into it 100%. Again, I know that some of you are going to be like, Dark Dove, this is not my fault. It was their fault. And I get that. And I know that, Virgo. But even if it's their fault and they apologize, you're not as graceful as giving them a second chance or if they say, I apologize, which is really hard in itself, right? Or if they say, I love you, I miss you, you give them like an inch and then they have to come 20. But you do that even when you're wrong. So even if you're wrong and you go back to them and say, hey, I'm sorry, you're sorry for what? Like you have to start expanding on that. I think you're getting there, Virgo, but this month is going to be a hard month for you, I think, because not only just the spread, which is kind of telling me quite a bit, but also just people I know personally who are going through certain issues. You know, I get a lot of, well, I've told them how I feel, and I even did a private read at the end of last month, and it was for a gal, and she just said, you know, but he knows how I feel. Well, no, sometimes people forget, and sometimes in between all of the ups and downs, people forget, and you need to reassure them. And Virgo, it's just tapping into your heart energy and making it happen. I think it's possible, but I think you're going to have to come in with guns blazing. And I really do think you're going to have to come in with guns blazing. It's interesting because you have the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Wands here. So you could be dealing with a Leo, Sagittarius, or an Aries, which are fire signs. Like I said, you also have the water signs, Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and you have the Queen of Cups, and then you have the Chariot, which is, the Chariot's Cancer, but it could be, you know, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And you have the wand, you have wands here. So you have a lot of fire energy and a lot of water energy, because you even have the 10 of wands here. So you have 8, 9, 10, and the ace, which is the beginning. So you're either dealing with water sign or a fire sign. It doesn't have to be. It's just something that, you know, is very interesting. And you also have 2 aces side by side, and then you have 8s here. Very interesting too. And then the 10s. So you've got 8, 10s, and aces. So, you know, maybe those numbers will be applicable for you at some point as well. Could be that you're going to meet somebody in 8 weeks, 10 weeks, maybe even 1. So we'll see. All right, the next card you have is the Ace of Wands. And this is external. So anything you're going to deal with throughout the month of October externally. It could be beginning, middle, end. It could be through the entire month. But the Ace is a very good card. I actually like this card a lot. So if you're single, this is about enthusiasm again, energy. So you're coming into the month exhausted, feeling like, but then you're going to get back on the saddle of the 8 of Wands. And you're going to use this creativity, passion, energy. And you're going to find what you want. And you're going to get there. This is very much a like starting new and coming up with new ideas. So if you feel like online dating's not working for you, you're going to do meetup groups, or you're going to go stand in the vegetable aisle and talk to every person that comes your way that doesn't have a wedding ring. Whatever you decide is going to work best for you. I think something is going to like light a fire under you, in telling you, no, you've got this, you're capable, you're going to meet somebody incredible. And again, I mean, you just have all this fire energy right here, which is just about knowing that it's going to come, but you have to be enthusiastic. So I know you're coming into the month feeling exhausted, but try and put on that enthusiasm and try and let that show through, because Virgo, when you're on top and when you're funny and when you're witty and when you're having a good time and when you're joking around and when you're, you know, you're like the epitome of somebody everybody wants to be around. And I've seen that in Virgos, and I know that that's there. So you've got to be able to say, you know, just let your guard down and have fun, joke around. It doesn't have to always be so serious, work, work, work. If you're looking to reconcile, I think you're going to come up with a creative way to get back into that passion. You're going to, and I hate to say it, Virgo, but I really feel like you're going to need to. I feel like you're going to need to come up with something that's going to be mind-changing, because if you are looking to reconcile, this is almost like you're, you know, this is your chance. And I've said that before in months, but it wasn't last month, and it hasn't been recently, but I feel like the Virgos now that are newly reconciling or trying to reconcile or thinking about it, you're going to have to come up with something creative, because this person may just be like, no, I'm done. Been here with you. I'm done. You got to show me the bigger picture, or don't even waste my time. So I think you will. And again, it could be them. It could be them coming towards you, and maybe they're coming up with something creative and fun, and they're coming to you with a whole new direction. But if they do, then if you really want to reconcile, you're going to have to take it with open arms and give them the benefit of the doubt. The next card you have is your internal factors for the month. And here you are, Virgo. You're the 8 of coins. Well, you're not the 8 of coins. Virgo's the hermit, but the coins or pentacles represent earth signs, which is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So this is definitely you showing up, and it's you working very hard. It's you working as hard as the 10 of Wands. So internally throughout the month, you're going to be thinking, what do I need to do? I'm going to be very dutiful. I've got to be focused on work, 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 work. And every time I see these, Virgo, they come up as, for me, going, okay, what are you not wanting to focus on, or what are you trying to avoid? Because we already know you work hard. We already know that you make money. We already know that you're a go-getter. So what are you focusing so diligently on in that aspect when you could be focusing on love? Ooh, love. So if you're single, I think that you're going to be working really hard again at money, finances, and getting things ready. But I feel like it's getting things ready. I think that you're kind of going, okay, I was tired, exhausted, but I'm done. I'm going after it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to find somebody. I'm going to find somebody amazing. But you're also going to be hardworking at not only love, but the rest of your life. But Virgo, I kind of feel like that's a broken record with you guys too, because you're always working hard. Yes, you have your moments of like, screw this, but it usually is like an hour and a half, and then you go back to being a workman and very diligent. So again, I think internally you are going to want to find love, and this is more of a burden responsibility. This is more of working hard. So towards the end of the month, I think you'll be more apt to, yes, I have things to take care of, and yes, I have these responsibilities, and they seem to become heightened when I get a little annoyed about love or relationships. But this is more of, I still have room for love and relationships. This is more like, I don't have time for it. So I think at the end of the month, you're going to feel a little bit more enthusiastic about meeting somebody. If you're looking to reconcile, I think that you're also doing the same thing, and you're going to put a lot of work into yourself. So this tells me that you're going to look at, okay, obviously there's some things that aren't working. And for some of you, it's repetitively not working. So you really need to make some changes. And for others of you, you may be going, hey, is this person even worth it? Is this person even somebody worth the work? However, I think most of you are going to think that they are, or you wouldn't be working so hard to get there. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month, and you have the Ace of Cups. So this is what you really, truly want as a Virgo. For all of you single or reconciling, this is about love. The Ace of Cups is one of my favorite cards. Again, it's a water sign, so it could be a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, but the Ace of Cups is about beginnings, friendship, excitement. So I feel like if you're single, you're looking for an exciting person. You're looking for new beginnings. You really want to meet somebody incredible, and you're just exhausted because you haven't met them. And so now you're going, well, I have too much going on. I don't have time for this crap. I can't seem to meet anybody. But truly, your heart at the end of October is soaring, going, I really want to meet somebody amazing. And I think that you're going to open up, and you're going to make some changes to actually meet new people and come up with new ideas of dating, or you're just going to shut down and go to another site, or you're going to figure something different out. But the Ace of Cups definitely says that you know what you want, and you want that heart energy, but you've got to put out into the universe what you want to get back, Virgo, and sometimes you have a hard time. But the end of October might push you towards it. Maybe it's just because the holidays are here, and, you know, we're the last 3 months of the year, and you know what you want, you've known what you want, and you are going to meet people and start building new friendships, and it's going to be exciting, and that's what you want. If you're looking to reconcile, I think that something may look up for you. There may be something triggers. I don't know. It could be, again, for some reason, these 8s and 10s are sticking out again. It could be 8 days, 10 days, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, but you're going to reach out to them, or they're going to surprise you and reach out to you. But whatever it is, if you reach out to them, if they even give you an hint of like, hey, I'm interested, or they even give you the time of day and you didn't think they would, I think you're going to embrace it totally different. You're going to embrace this as friendship, new beginnings, love. And again, Virgo, I'm urging you to go like the extra mile. Even if you say, I know, like I said, I'm going to get messages where you're like, I've gone over and over and above and beyond, and that's fine. But sometimes what we think is over and over and above and beyond is not. And it's not up to you to make that happen. But you know what? Sometimes it is. And sometimes, isn't it okay just to throw in the towel and say, you know what? Fuck it. I don't think I can say that on here. Sorry, I just said that. Whoops. But you're going to just say, you know what? Forget it. Like, I'm going after this. I'm going to put my heart and soul into it, even if it exhausts me again. But I think you're almost more exhausted of the not knowing. You're more exhausted of feeling like, what are they up to? What are they doing? Go all out. All out. And if you still don't get it, then you can say, you know what? I didn't get it. And I'm going to take time off and I'm going to, dismiss it all. But you can't say you've tried and exhausted all resources if you really haven't. The last card you have is a Chariot, which I said already is Cancer. So it could be that you're dealing with a Cancer or, again, a water sign. But the Chariot is about, so this is your outcome card. So if you're single, this is about you figuring out, you know what's even more interesting? I just thought about this and it just dawned on me. Cancer opened up their spread with the Chariot right here. Cancer came in as themselves. And now you're leaving the spread as Cancer, which is very weird. Not to mention, Cancer had, I believe, the Two of Cups and the Lovers. Oh, Virgo, are you dealing with a Cancer? Or are you dealing with a Pisces or a Scorpio? Very interesting. Very interesting. Like, very interesting. Because they got the Two of Cups, I think, in a clarifying card, which would be major love energy. And oh my gosh, they got the Hermit somewhere in here, which is Virgo. Very interesting, Virgo. Some of you may be dealing with a Cancer. So anyways, if you're single, the Chariot is saying, look, you have to figure out what you want. I say this every time I pull the Chariot card, because the Chariot will only move smoothly if two people are going on the same path. So Virgo, if you know what you want and you know somebody who's on the same path or heading in the same direction, look for them, find them, meet new people, meet people who want what you want in life, figure out what you want. Really what it comes down to is the brass tacks of what you want, and then find people who want the same thing. If that Chariot's going to sail off into the sunset and you're going to be going on a straight path, into love and relationships and commitments, then you both have to be on the same page. So if you're dating, figure out what the heck you want, then figure out what you can control in the situation, because the Chariot tries to control things, but you can't ultimately always control things. And Virgo, of all people, try to control things and it just doesn't always work. The Chariot is saying, look, control what you can, be yourself, figure out what you want, figure out who the duality is, who the other person you want in your life is going to be, and then figure out how you're going to have that self-balance and balance in a relationship, period. If you are looking to reconcile, this is very important this month. If you want to be with that person, you're going to have to figure out what they're about, what path they're on, and how you fit into it. And then, Virgo, you have to take a look inside yourself and say, if they're on this path, is that the path I'm going down? Because I know I give you a hard time about, put your heart on your sleeve and show them the love and the emotion. And I generally chalk it up to you not being the one who comes through at the end as far as going after reconciliation. Not anything else, because you are some of the most diligent people. You work hard, you love hard, but in reconciliation, you're not always the best at that. And this is saying, look, sometimes you want to reconcile with people that aren't even good for you or aren't even on the same path for you. So if you're looking to reconcile with somebody who wants love, marriage, a commitment, Facebook status change, and all of this, and you don't want that, then drop it, because you cannot convince somebody to change, to mold into what you want. So the Chariot's saying, pick your path, pick your path. And if somebody's along for the ride, great. And if they're not, it doesn't make them a bad person, doesn't make you a bad person, it makes it a bad fit. And the Chariot's saying, figure out what works for you. But if you want this peace and love that you've experienced before, and they're a good fit for that, you may have to figure out what path you're on and how you guys can connect that. Because it can't just be black and white either. It can't just be they have to be along on your path or you're along on their path. It has to be a combined effort between the two of you. Okay, so let me shuffle this Deviant Moon Tarot deck really quick. And then I will let you go, because I always say I'm going to keep it quick, and then I find my reads go for like 40 minutes. And you're probably like, okay, quick would be like 20. I could put an annoying timer on it, but then I feel like I'd be rushing and not really saying what I really need to say. Okay, so, shoot, these cards are kind of popping out all over the place. All right, so I'm going to clarify your distant future and your outcome and see what we pull for those. So your distant future, you're the Queen of Cups, and your outcome, you have the Six of Cups. So again, you have more cups on top of Cancer, on top of cups, on top of cups. So again, it could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and you have the Six of Cups, which for your outcome is about revisitation. So this is very interesting because this goes very well with the Ten of Cups. The Six of Cups is remembering things that made you happy, remembering what a healthy relationship was like, remembering maybe if you've had unhealthy relationships or unhealthy marriages, or you've been through divorces, or you've been through this or that. Maybe you're starting to go, well, my parents were happy, or my dad and stepmom, or my mom and stepdad, they were happy, or my aunts or uncles or grandparents. So let's get back to the roots here. And what makes people happy, and what makes me happy? And you're visiting your childhood saying, what were my best family memories? What do I want to give to my kids? What do I want to give to people that I love? What environment do I want? And that's going to be very important this month, I think, for you, because this is going to be remembering what you should bring to the table and what you should expect from others in the type of relationship you want. So if you're single, you're definitely going to be thinking about really the roots of everything. Really what do I want the most? Is it building new family traditions? Is it meeting somebody who makes, me feel at peace, who I could see having a family life with, who I could see spending Christmases with, even if it's just, the two of you, or even if it's the two of you and your pets, even if it's the two of you and kids that you bring in conjoined family. You're really going to get back to just the basics and what makes you happy. And I think for Virgos, you don't need a ton of glitter and glamour. You really strive on being happy and fulfilled by family and good morals and good ethics. If you're looking to reconcile, you too will be going back to revisiting the same type of thing, the nostalgia, but you might be remembering what it was like to be with that partner, or remembering what it was like when you had conversations about what you wanted and what your expectations were, and how truly, compound it was with you both being together. So if you can remember that, and you could figure out if that can still work for you and that's what you want, then go for it. The last one you have is the Queen of Cups. Again, with the cups, I didn't even see that. I definitely think it could be a water sign. You also have two queens here. So you could be dealing with another person who kind of gives you a run for your money, who's also very queen-like, and you're just going to have to deal with them, even if sometimes you feel like they could be overwhelming or overpowering. So the Queen of Cups is about, oh, I didn't even notice. You have the Queen here and the Queen here. So you have the Queen of Cups here, and you have the Queen of Cups clarifying. So you're definitely dealing with Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, because this is energy of somebody who knows what they want. And if you're single and you're looking to date and you're looking to be this capable Nine of Wands person that this is clarifying, you're going to meet somebody. The Queen is, like I said, otherness, mystery. This is somebody who's going to give you an experience that you haven't experienced in a long time, or give you an experience that you've never experienced before. So if you're dating, you're definitely going to find somebody, but it might be overwhelming, maybe overpowering. And if you know what you truly want, then it's going to make sense to you, and you're going to feel an overwhelming want to have this love and beginnings and friendship with them. If you're looking to reconcile, the Queen says absolutely to me that this person is holding you to your game. They have expectations. They are expecting you. If you say that you want to get married, by golly, you need to have your ducks in a row, if you say that you want to move in with them, because here's the thing, Virgo, if you make those claims and you say, I want to move in with you, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then you don't do anything about it, everything you're saying is false. And you may believe in your head, I absolutely do, but you kind of feel like, again, I gave him an inch, now I just need to see him come tenfold. Nope. This month, Virgo, if you want to reconcile, you're going to have to do that. And I know a lot of people are going to be irritated with me for saying that. I haven't said this in a while, but this seems tried and true, that you're going to have to be the one to make the sacrifices. I know you've made plenty, Virgo. I know. But if you really want this person back, it's now or never. Show them what you've got, or don't worry about it anymore and move on. All right. Have a great month. I'll see you soon. Bye.